Hi, Dr. Biology here. This very short video is about mitosis. New cells are needed for an organism, so they need to grow and they need to replace cells when they become worn out, and also to repair damaged tissue. However, the new cells must have the same genetic information as the originals so they can do the same job, and that's where mitosis comes into play. Because in your body, your cells are continually making new cells, and they do it through mitosis. I'm going to show you mitosis now with a few friends. In the first stage of mitosis, the cell is growing, okay? And the cell is growing because it's increasing the number of mitochondria and ribosomes. And just before things start to happen, the chromosomes, as you can see here, they're kind of elongating, and there's 2 chromosomes here. So what happens next in stage 2, that each chromosome copies its DNA, making 2 copies of each chromosome. As you can see, there is 2 copies there. Now in the stage 3, the nuclear membrane has broken down, okay, so there's no more nucleus, and the chromosomes are lining up in the center of the cell. And once they've lined up, they're going to start to separate. So you're going to get one set of chromosomes being pulled to one end, okay, so going that way, and the other chromosome is being pulled to the other end of the cell, like that. So now they've been pulled apart, so you can see you've got one cell forming here and another cell forming here, which is, they are identical to the parent cell. And you can now see that the cell is starting to divide, and when it starts to divide, it forms 2 new nuclei. Okay, so one there and one there. Okay. Ooh. And you can see that this cell is starting to kind of break itself to make in 2 cells. So the cell membrane and the cytoplasm are dividing. So they're dividing, and this is going to then form the 2 identical cells. So as you can see, we've now got 2 identical cells, and that's been these are called 2 identical daughter cells. They're known as daughter cells, okay, and they are the same as the original parent cell. When 2 cells divide, this is known as cytokinesis. Okay, so I'm going to now summarize very quickly the different stages. Stage 1, Stage 2, second stage of Stage 2, Stage 3, and finally 2 identical daughter cells are produced. So finally, this is from BBC Bitesize. This gives a very good summary about each of the stages. So you can see, obviously the cell begins to grow and then it begins to divide. In terms of the DNA replicates to form 2 copies of each chromosome. The nuclear membrane, that's the membrane around the nucleus, it starts to break down and the chromosomes line up across the center of the cell. One set of chromosomes is pulled to each end of the cell, and the nucleus divides, and then the cytoplasm and cell membrane, they divide to form 2 identical cells, known as daughter cells. Star-Lord says, subscribe to Dr. Biology.